Hi everyone, welcome to this special presentation on the big picture of conversion rate optimization. My name is Rand Fishkin, I'm the CEO here at SEO Moz, and I'm going to be talking today about a very, very exciting practice, the practice of CRO, which I absolutely love. Now, let's start by talking just about the very basics of this practice. Basics of CRO are, I've got a website and I want more people who come to my website, right, to come and give me their email address so that they subscribe via email, right? That's the goal of my personal blog. And lots of websites have lots of different goals that they're trying to get people to accomplish. And there's really two ways that I can accomplish this, right? I can get more people visiting the site, same number of people, same percentage of people filling out that email form, or I don't have to have anyone else visit the site, but if I get a higher percent of the people who currently visit to subscribe via email, I've accomplished my task as well. These are the two options that I've really got. So, a lot of the time in conversion rate optimization, in landing page optimization, what we think about is this, right? It's about, let's improve the call to action. This guy over here, he must be the problem, right? It's that little red box. If I can improve that, I'll get more people accomplishing the goal I want them to accomplish. Well, there's some ways to do this, right? A/B testing, where we show half of our audience one version, half of our audience the other version, and we see which one's going to work better, right? One will have a higher conversion rate than the other one. We get a winner out of that practice. Or we could do, complex multivariate testing, where we show 4 different versions, one to each 25% of the audience, and then we'll see that over time, one of those will eventually be the winner and produce the better result. This takes a long time because you have to have, statistical significance testing, which requires lots of fancy math. Most of the programs like an Optimizely or an Unbounce or a Google Website Optimizers will do this for you. And we can test all sorts of things using this practice, right? We could test where do we want to put this on the page, location on the page. Maybe we want to have it higher up or lower down. We can test the display width of the email box, the box color. Maybe red is bad. Maybe we need it to be green or blue or gray. We could test address verification. So when you type in your email address, it actually checks for whether you have a real email address or not, and maybe that'll help more people get through. We can include social proof so that, there's a little face pile from Facebook that shows all your friends who've already subscribed via email and are fans of the site. We could load up the call to action after the page loads. So the page loads up and then you're browsing and boom, it pops in front of you. We could have the call to action copy be different. Maybe get post by email is no good and we want something like subscribe for free or sign up now. We could have different versions based on behavior. So if you've been to the site 3 or more times, we can say, boy, it seems like you sure love Rand's blog post content. Why do you sign up via email? We can change all these different types of messages, test everything in the world, but it's not CRO. That's my worst Crocodile Dundee impression. I apologize to anyone in Australia who might be watching this or around the world who has an Australian background. But it's not. This is not conversion rate optimization. This is the minutia, the detail level of CRO. What if this isn't actually the problem? What if the call to action, that little red box, isn't what's going wrong here? What if this is? What if the content is the problem? Or even worse, what if the brand is the problem? Right? What if it's just that nobody likes that guy and so people don't want to subscribe via email because they just don't like the person, they don't like the brand, they don't like the image that's being presented, or they hate the content. Then it doesn't matter what you do to the call to action because none of it's going to work. Conversion rate optimization, real big picture conversion rate optimization, is about getting people all the way down your funnel from a discovery phase to a testing phase to a consideration phase to a conversion phase to becoming a subscriber, someone who's staying with the product or making repeat purchases or repeat visits. Really great CRO gets people all the way down that funnel. And you're never going to get there if you're only testing in the details, in the minutia. That's not where real change comes from. And so a conversion decision is such a big process. So many variables are included, right? I mean, the design, the branding, the historical experiences you've had with the site, the social proof, the associations, the pricing, the process that you go through, the word of mouth you've heard, the effort required and the amount of pain required that's in that effort, the discovery path, the timing, the copy, the calls to action, the UX, the word, all this stuff influences a conversion decision, and there's no way to know which of these is the problem if you're just testing that singular call to action. So how do you find out? How do you get at the real optimization challenge here? Well, the answer is you got to segment your visitors and then survey them. So we've done this at SEO Moz before, where we sort of broken up our folks into people who focus on different areas of practice and tried to figure out, what do specific audience members care about, what do they love, what do they not love, and then we ask them questions. When you want to know the answer to something, you can just ask. So these are the kinds of smart questions that we ask to people, right? We ask them things like, hey, you've never taken a free trial. What are you seeking from SEO Moz? What's bringing you back to the site? What would have made you more likely to sign up? And what are your big objections to giving the software a free trial? What about people who took the free trial but left? We asked them things like, well, what made you take that free trial? And what were the objections you had, and how did you overcome those? What caused you to cancel your subscription? Once you took the trial, why did you leave? And what are things that would have made you stay a subscriber? And for people who took that free trial and stayed, we asked them, well, what was it that initially made you want to try SEO Moz? And what were your objections? How'd you overcome them? And what's been most valuable to you? Have you had success with Moz? If so, can we share it? Right? Which is amazing, because that means in the survey, you're getting back this treasure trove of data about people who've tried your product and said, yes, I loved it and I want to share. And you're understanding these other audiences who never took the free trial, what those objections might have been, people who took the free trial and left. It's really two things. And this is how professionals do it. So we worked with these guys at Conversion Rate Experts, right? And what they did is they did these essentially asked these two questions. Number one, gain a deep understanding of what makes buyers buy. What makes the people who take the action take that action? And number two, determining what makes some qualified buyers not buy. Boom and shakalaka. This process of figuring out what makes buyers buy and what are the objections that qualified buyers have transformed our marketing in 2009 here at Moz. It made us an extra $1 million. This is the $1 million that actually helped us give us the ability to build Open Site Explorer, which has become a very, very popular tool that we offer now. And this was at a critical time in the company's history when we couldn't raise money and we were struggling and these kinds of things. And the real difference was, you can see these two pages, right? The two different versions of the page. The small version was essentially what we thought was a good converting landing page, and the bigger version was what Conversion Rate Experts had put together after asking those questions and discovering the objections and then saying, you know what? We are going to answer these objections in a very long landing page. I don't personally love long landing pages, but boy, it worked. It definitely worked. This is the true challenge. You want to discover those objections and overcome them with your conversion-focused content. So in addition to providing this big picture, which I think is absolutely critical and a must-do for organizations that are trying to tackle CRO, I also wanted to provide some tactical tips. So these are a few of my personal favorite tactical tips, and there's a lot more detail in the links which you can follow too. So number one, you gotta make pages fast, right? When you think about the way we all use the web today, we are so speed dependent, and we are so reliant on the internet to be a fast place for information that things like John Coleman's case study from REI, where they literally lowered page speed from 7 seconds to 5.5 seconds and saw massive increases in conversion in SEO because Google was crawling and indexing more pages, in people getting through the conversion process, the shopping cart process. I mean, I don't know who exactly these people are who are like, oh man, this is going to be a cold winter, I'm going to be snowboarding, I really need some new snowboarding gloves, but oh, you know what, this web page took 1.5 extra seconds to load, so I'm not going to buy. It seems crazy, right? But it's true. It really is. That's really what happens. People go, I can't wait around, I'm out of here. and then they leave, and you don't get them back, and so your conversion rate drops. And when you make things faster, it goes up. So make your pages blazing fast. There's tons of advice and information about how to do that in John's presentation there. Number 2, this is at a little bit of that big picture level, but people have a purpose that they want from a web page. When they come to your site, when they land on that specific page, there's something that they want to accomplish. They have it in their mind when they sat down and typed it in the search query or when they clicked over from some other page. They know what they want. If you can deliver that thing, if you know what the customer wants and you can match that up with the web page's purpose, that overlap in Venn diagram will produce magic, absolute magic. And Avinash Kaushik wrote a great post about this on his blog that I highly recommend. You know what? I don't even feel like I need to say anything for number 3. You guys know this, right? You're going to kill yourself if you have bad design, old design. If your design is lost in the 90s, I highly recommend going and fixing it. And by the way, pro tip, if you go to this source Dribbble, this is one of my favorite places to find designers. So essentially what I look for is designers who who are essentially relatively new to the site or have only submitted a few designs, have only taken a few shots, but are very well rated and have beautiful stuff, because they tend to be less expensive and less in demand, so they can work on a project right away, usually for a lower rate than the very highly rated designers, and you're giving someone some portfolio work that they can help to accelerate their career. Number 4, you got to know your tools. So Conversion Rate Experts did a great job putting together a list of tools. There's actually a good blog post from Kissmetrics on this as well, talking about all the different kinds of tools. So ClickTail, which used to be, Qualaroo, which used to be Kiss Insights, SurveyMonkey, Google Talk, ClickTail, Google Website Optimizer, Unbounce, Optimize, like all these different testing platforms, what they can do for you and how you can use them. There's no way you're going to need all of these, but you should know what all of them do, and you should know how to apply them so that if you're in a specific situation, you can say, hey, we're having some customer service problems. That appears to be going on. Hey, you know what? We need a great chat program, live chat program, so that we can see if by having live chat turned on, we can solve some more of our customers' problems and answer those and then figure out what those objections were and maybe put that in the page and on the copy so that we can help people to move through the funnel faster. Number 5, so Ted Baker has has an all right site. It's not the greatest site in the world. I love the clothes. In fact, I'm wearing a Ted Baker shirt right now. What do you know? One of my favorite clothing retailers. It's a Glaswegian, designer from up in Glasgow in Scotland. And what they do is something that a lot of companies do, which is look, they're forcing me to register. Why would you do that? You don't need to force someone to register, right? What you want to do is give people the ability to go complete this process without having to register a profile, without having to create an email address and fulfill this stuff. And in fact, if you follow this link, this $300 million button story, what you'll see is that there was a huge brand and a great case study around this where all they did was they allowed a check out without creating an account button so that you didn't have to complete a profile, and it made them $300 million extra dollars. Because there's just a lot of people who don't want to fill out this personal information and will leave, but will go through if all they have to do is enter their credit card and billing, et cetera, which is all you need to make a sale. Number 6, when you're doing messaging, this is a almost universal rule in copywriting, in branding, and design, concrete and emotional will always beat abstract and intellectual. Let me give you a good example. So let's say I'm Facebook and I'm trying to get people to sign up for Facebook. A concrete and emotional statement, an abstract and intellectual statement about Facebook might be, Facebook, become part of the world's largest social network. Okay, yeah, I could become part of the world's largest social network. I guess there's sort of intellectual reasons why I might want to do that. It's a little abstract. Or concrete and emotional. Sign up for Facebook where you can see photos, news, and information from your friends and family. Oh, my friends and family have photos on Facebook? That's very emotional, very concrete. I want that very much. I shall definitely sign up for it. It's not abstract, it's not intellectual, it's concrete and emotional, and it works very, very well. There's a great infographic about it here. Number 7, free works. As much as we want to believe that, seeing something like sign up, which we know inherently is probably free, saying it's free makes a significantly larger percent of people actually go and do it. Super weird. Maybe, that button on my email link that says, sign up to receive emails, maybe I should say, sign up for free to receive emails. That probably would actually increase my conversion rate of people subscribing to my email a little bit more. Number 8. So Zappos does something absolutely incredible with their product pages. They get in a new product, and what do? They take photos of it. They make videos of it. Despite the manufacturer sending them some pretty darn good photos, they go and they reshoot every single shoe from every angle. Top, down, bottom, up, left, right. This is probably the default view, but you can see along the bottom there, right? There's all the other different views, and I can watch a video of some guy like coming out and being like, oh, I love these yellow Pumas. They're fantastic. I should probably do all the yellow Puma ones for Zappos. Need to talk to Zappos about that. That would be super cool. But in any case, right, that more product detail actually helps with conversion. If you can describe your product better, photograph it better, video it better, have more information about it available. I'm not saying put it all on one page and overwhelm and overload people, but give them the ability, give them the option to learn everything they need to learn. That will help your conversion rate significantly. Number 9, video just works. Video itself is a very, very effective tool. Not everyone is going to use it, but it is highly effective. Dropbox has used it. We've actually used some video here, and you can see some great case studies down there from Common Craft about the effectiveness of video in getting people through. Essentially, I think that a video has more of a almost personal and visceral connection than just browsing text and images, and seeing a compelling video is going to increase your conversion rate. So if you can afford to produce these, work with a company that can help, this is a great way to go. But you have to optimize it, right? So look at these two. So this is from Wistia. This is our data analytics from Wistia, which is our video provider. And you can see here that, right, this is the story of 2 different videos. One, a Whiteboard Friday that I did on learning SEO, right, where the drop-off is just massive. Like people just, boom, they tank. Right after they've watched the first few minutes, they're gone. As opposed to this Whiteboard Friday where Cyrus Shepard did, where people are really sticking around much longer. Make sure that you are optimizing those videos. Make sure that you're engaging people with the videos you produce. The last thing you want to do is invest time and energy and effort into video and not get something out of it. And number 10, be very careful about falling into this trap where you look at a case study of conversion rate optimization. Like maybe you look at the SEOMOZ landing page case study and you go, oh yeah, they used to have that shorter page. They made the page much, much longer, like huge, long, scroll forever. I'm going to make a scroll forever page. That's not the takeaway. That's not what you're supposed to do. The takeaway shouldn't be, I'm going to copy exactly what they did, right? Which is, in this case, 37 Signals made their page much more white space and less complex. And the other example here, right, I've got is showing that they made their white space much less white space and a little bit more of a complex product and a dark background. And so people would go, well, those seem like the opposite of each other, right? But no, that's not what's going on. What is going on is learn the types of questions they ask, learn the objections they overcame, learn the reasons behind why more customers are buying, and get into the philosophy of, yes, I should test, and no, my instincts aren't always going to be right, which is why I need testing to help me, not I should just copy what everybody else is doing. And bonus, number 11, if you like tips like this, man, there are a ton. Ollie Gardner from Unbounce has put together a fantastic research. I think it now has 616 odd tips, and you can check it out there. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation, and I hope we've inspired you to do some more big picture conversion rate optimization. Thanks, everyone. Take care.